shut up. You feel me? So, you can't learn my business or make up. Some people, what's a trip is they'll make up their own story. They'll have a bit of a piece of something, and they'll run with it and tell a whole novel. What are you talking about? Oh, bye.
No, the same thing happened as part of my divorce. My mother-in-law had actually, got in a little conversation with my mom and started spitting out a whole bunch of stuff about me. Like, well, this is why Tiffany is the way she is, blah, 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 blah.
Oh, shit.
And, she said some stuff to my mom that I didn't even know she knew. Like, oh, my husband
set your mother off, huh?
Didn't. The benefit was, you don't think my mama didn't know all that already? Because me and my mom are, close.
Right there. Right.
So, but that's what it showed me about her and that family was like, oh, you try to use this as a weapon, but because I am healed and I do disclose to appropriate people, my mom wasn't taken aback. She was like, and?
But if your partner, if your partner isn't an appropriate person to disclose to, because I'm just saying, we live in that kind of world right now where there are no, well, it's always been this way, but there are no guarantees.
Right.
How do I know for sure that I can share with this person? How do I know they down with me, they roll with me, they understand me, they support who I am and what I've been through? Shit, how do you know?
Well, go ahead.
I think you pay attention to their actions, not just what they're saying. Because if somebody really has your back, it doesn't have to be something with financially. It could be something like, hey, I'm about to go to school for X, Y, Z, and then they come back, look, I found these schools, or I found out that other school you were looking at was no good. Like someone that shows that they're outside the box, that they care about you. Because a lot of people, they just care about you superficially. Like, they care about having sex with you. They care about going to eat with you or going to this place and that place. But someone that cares about, I think, what you're doing, and you told them things, and even in the good things that happen, they have your back and they're excited for you. You can tell when you got something good going and somebody's really jealous. Their congratulations ain't a real congratulations. I seen how the fuck you congratulated me. You was really mad when I told you that shit. So that's the first thing I'm looking at. I tell you some shit and you don't look like you too happy about it. Oh, I can't share that.
Your ass over here taking notes.
Exactly.
You not really fucking with me.
Exactly.
You got a ledger.
Exactly. You over here, man. I remember I was dating somebody and I was showing them I was on KTYM. I used to be on this station with someone, and long story short, they were like, oh, I was going to do radio. It was cool that they said it because they may have, but the way they said it, it was really condescending. It was almost like, how you doing something that I want to do before me, or how dare you, but without them saying that. It was the body language that was attached. And the minute they did that, it kind of hurt me. And then it was like a footnote. I said, okay, I see that they low-key. It's not that they're jealous, but it's something weird here, and it's not right.
It ain't right. Whatever it is they going through,
it's not right.
It's not right.
Yeah, and once I see that, then I don't share information. Or if I see you talk too much, there's always a telltale that they're talk too much. They tell you everybody else's business. If I know all your friends' business, and even you hang up, guess what they said? Oh, yeah, I don't tell you shit. You talk too much.
Well, let me just say this, Mimi and Tiffany. It appears that we have a brave soul.
Ooh.
Oh, listen, welcome.
Here we go.
I'm going to remember what I was going to say, but we
Caller, first. You're on the line. What's your name and where you calling from? Speak on it. Turn that track down, bro. Say again, what's your name and where you calling from? Speak on it.
Don't be nervous. It's going to be all right.
So let me just say, man, takes a tremendous amount of courage
Yes.
to call in and say what you've said.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think you recognize how therapeutic that move was.
Right.
Because number one, you got it off your chest.
Yes.
It's probably something you've been holding on to for a moment, right? You ain't really told nobody nothing about it, right?
Right.
All right. So the act of calling and sharing is monumental for you.
Mm-hmm.
So please understand your healing process has already begun.
Right.
Because you found the courage to call me. Now, I'm going to tell you this. As it pertains to you and your son is going to model how you solve problems.
Mm-hmm.
See, what you fail to realize is communication isn't just verbal.
Right.
It's nonverbal as well.
Mm-hmm.
Now, understand this. I'm going to go even further than just nonverbal. Children model energy.
Mm-hmm.
The energy of the crib. The energy of the interaction. Right? The unconscious energy. They get that too.
Mm-hmm.
So this ain't about you and your son right now. It will be later
Right.
if you and what you've been through does not get transmuted.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
What does transmutation means? It's a fancy word. The first law of thermodynamics is energy can never be destroyed. It can only change form.
Right.
Transmutation. Your job is to transmute the negative experience, right? And don't allow it to victimize you or make you into this perpetual victim, because that's the energy you'll pass on to your child
Mm-hmm.
as a generational curse.
Right.
What you have to do is say, this thing happened to me, but this thing doesn't define me.
That's
Right.
right.
You understand what I'm saying, brother? You have to face it and say to it, this happened. But just because it happened doesn't mean it has authority over who I'm supposed to be and what I'm about.
Right.
It doesn't have dominion over my purpose in life.
Right. What I think one thing you said that I think I want to address for everybody, because I experienced it as well, and it's very common, especially if your experience was young, was you said you kind of vaguely remember it. It feels almost like a dream, or like maybe it didn't happen. And so what I want to say is, and that it's hard to heal past something. You're like, for me, because my situation was, my brother's dad, there was a lot of issues there. So to this day, my brothers don't really believe that happened, and they're like, you made that up, right? And you start to kind of believe that as an inner monologue. So what happens is our brain is really nice, but it's also really mean, is it blacks out. And especially when you're young, as a defense to trauma, it will black out those memories so you don't remember it as a coping mechanism. But then how it backfires is that as an adult, when you're trying to process things, like, for some people it's like, am I gay? Or am I not gay? Or why do I have issues with this? And you start unpacking it, it feels like how you experience it, which is, was that just a dream or a movie I saw, or did that really happen to me? So to just acknowledge, if you're feeling that way, it probably happened. And that's the first step, to acknowledge, like, I don't really remember, but I think this happened to me, is the first step. So just know that's completely normal, especially if the trauma happened before, like, puberty. It's very common. And so if you're
Right.
experiencing, like, the first step in healing is acknowledging, like, its existence. So, it's probably safe to say something, maybe if you don't remember the details, that's not necessarily, necessary for the healing process, but just say, like, something that was funky happened, and then move forward from there.
Wow. It's about embracing it, is what
Yes.
she's saying.
Yeah.
The longer you... Carl Jung said, what we resist persists.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to turn, face it, embrace it, and then understand you're not the author of my narrative.
That's
Right.
right. That's part.
See, that's the key. You happened. And the only reason why I'm saying you in reference to the trauma you've experienced, you happened, and the only reason why you're still here is because I haven't faced you. In the relationship dismount, I talk about inviting your past traumatic experiences into your heart in the same way you would do a stranger or someone you knew who was going through a bad time and they show up at your doorstep. You invite them in. They need your help. I said, but now this is where it gets funky. If you're resisting them, it's going to take longer for them to pack their shit and get out.
Super long.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
This is how you deal with inner trauma. You don't judge it and you don't judge yourself.
Yes.
That's right.
Right? You didn't. I got a book for you. This is an excellent book for you to read. You must read this, okay? Get it today. This is one of the books I offer in my coaching session, right? Especially for people who have gone through stuff like this. Guilt is the teacher. Love is the lesson. By Joan Bori Senko, PhD. You gotta read it. Guilt is the teacher. Love is the lesson. Guilt is one of the lowest vibrational mindsets you can have. You got to understand something about the mind. The human mind creates worlds and realities based off of what it accepts as the truth. Guilt is the teacher. Love is the lesson. Get that book because you're not responsible for what happened to you, brother. You're not responsible for it. But you are responsible for overcoming it. Mm-hmm. You are responsible for transmuting the energy. Mm-hmm. And once you transmute the energy, your son gets to feel, okay, don't think your son don't feel you were in a dark place. Mm-hmm. Don't think your son doesn't feel something really hurtful happened to you. Mm-hmm. But when your son can sense the shift in you, now your son can reconcile whatever uncertainty he may have about what you're going through. Mm-hmm. Whatever was bothering my son, wow. Or whatever's bothering my dad, wow, it's different now.
Mm-hmm. Right.
It's different. So he shifts unconsciously. Mm-hmm. It was Nicole Tesla that said, if you want to understand the universe, think energy, vibration, and frequency. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to get you to change the energy, vibration, and frequency by not judging yourself for something you had no control over. Right. Do you understand? You did not create the situation that caused you to be traumatized. Do you understand? All right, brother. Your son is counting on you, man. All right, brother. We appreciate you, man. Thank you for calling.
Thank you.
Woo-wee!
It's on fire.
Tonight we got to get up out of here. But we only got one caller, but he was significant.
He was.
Yes.
He was significant.
He was courageous. You could tell he was afraid, but he called anyways.
Yeah, man. But you know, that was a big step for him.
Absolutely.
That was ginormous.
Yeah,
and I'm just happy that he was able to do it. And let me just say, man, like, niggas don't understand. Like, we be talking, we talk crazy, whatever, having fun, joking. But it's some serious work getting done on these shows. Mm-hmm. If you're listening to it, you know what I'm saying? If you really dialed in, you'll understand there's some real information. And I'm a bridge. Right. I'm hood, but I'm good. Yeah! Hey! So check it out.
I'm
hood, but I'm good. Hey, listen, we'll be back Friday with I got a banger.
Ooh, I'm excited. I'll be here.
Oh my God, I got a banger Friday. It's going to be crazy. So I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Thank you so much for your donations. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We'll be back Friday. We appreciate you all. Deuces.
Deuces. That was 5.